There are three types of people in this world who woke up this morning. The first set of people are people who are going to make things happen today. The second type of people are people who are very content in watching these people do things. And the third set of people are people at the end of the day will wonder, how did it all happen? Research shows that 95% of the people in this world are living dead, and 5% of the people make all the difference in this world. These 5% of the people make the world go around. Do we belong to that 5%? How are we going to be in this 5%? I'm going to share with you a blueprint created by me, and it's called the Personal Reboot. Welcome to Personal Reboot with me, Malcolm Stephens. To begin with, let's understand what is reboot. Whether it's a computer system which starts misbehaving or doesn't work properly, or it's an equipment which is not working the way we want it to work, we say the best thing to do is to reboot, to start it all over again. Similarly with people, whenever we go to difficult situations, whenever we find that life is getting tough on us, it's a good opportunity to sit back and reboot ourselves. So when we talk about reboot, one of the first things we need to do is to stay clear while we are rebooting. So like any computer or a machine or whatever we have, once we set the reboot button, we need to stay clear. We need to understand what made us do this reboot. Why are we rebooting? What got us to this position of having to reboot? And we also need to take time to enjoy this reboot session. Because the moment you go into a reboot or you reboot a computer, it's going to take a while to fire up again. So we need to take time off, relax, and get ready to come out of the situation which we are in. Challenging moments, challenging times requires a reboot. So let's understand that what is this blueprint all about to reboot our own selves. One of the first things we should do while we are going through a reboot is to look at our own lives. We have a timeline. We have a past, we have the present, and we want to go into the future. When we look back what really happened in our lives. And at the present moment, we understand where are we and what's happening to us. And when we look ahead, we start wondering that what is life going to be all about. When we look at our life, we need to bifurcate possibly our own lives into personal and professional. A lot of people talk to me about work and life balance. Actually, it's all the same thing. Whether it's your personal or professional lives, it's all about your own life. We need to understand life. And to really understand and plan for the future as we sit back and go through a reboot is to ask a very important question as to why are we doing the reboot, and in a different way ask ourselves, why are we here in this world? What is our basic purpose? It's said there are two very important days in our lives. The day we are born and the day we realize why we are born. Defining our purpose is very important because having a purpose in life adds meaning to our lives. People who don't have purpose is kind of leading a meaningless life. And people who have a purpose, you find them all excited, all happy, all raring to go because they have a purpose. Now that you have defined your purpose, the reason for your existence in this world, it's time to ask the second important question, and that is what? What is it that you're going to do in this world which will fulfill your purpose? The reason for you to live. So we need to define what is it that we need to be doing. For that, we need to think and think and think and set some goals. So you have the purpose. Now you set certain goals of what you need to achieve, the things which you're going to do. People have goals, and many a times we have these fabulous dreams. We tend to call it a goal. Well, not too wrong. You have a dream and you set a time frame or deadline to your dream, it becomes a goal. Goals have to be very specific. It should be attainable. It should be measurable. It should be relevant. And it should be time bound. And then we have a goal in place. Now you have a lot of goals. Now people would ask me at times that, okay, I have a lot of goals, but do I have the time to attain these goals and thereby live a purposeful life? All I'd like to tell you today is that it's not about the number of goals you have, or it's not about time. It's not about how many years we are going to live. It's about the energy which we have to do and attain all our goals, live a purposeful life in the time which we have. Time is going to be constant. It's just going to be there for all of us. Each one of us gets 24 hours a day. But what do we do in these 24 hours depends on the kind of energy which we have. And the third very important question you need to ask yourself is, how are we going to do what we have to do to attain our purpose? How is a very important step. It actually tells you the process and the steps you need to go through to attain your goals. Now in this process of personal reboot, we have done something called as a think state. What we have done is we understood our purpose, we have understood what are the goals which we need to attain so that we fulfill the purpose for which we have come into this world, and we also have listed out the steps and processes required to attain our goals. Now, after we finish this think state, we need to now develop ourselves and get ready to do all that we have thought about. So the second part of this reboot process, while the reboot is going on, we need to sit back, take a piece of paper and write down what are the competencies which are required to attain these goals, which will give a meaning to our life. While doing so, we need to ask few things of ourselves. First is, you need to write down that what are the competencies which you have. Competencies are primarily divided into three things: knowledge, your skills, and your ability to do a particular task, to attain a particular goal. So write down the kind of knowledge which you possess today, right? The second part, what are the skills which you have? And third, what is your ability level? Now, having done that, keep it aside. Look at your goals again. Look at what are the things which you are supposed to be doing, which you have really thought about. And then list down, now what is the knowledge, what are the skills, and what are the levels of ability you need to have to attain these goals which you have set for yourself. And then measure yourself against the knowledge required and what you have, the skills required and what you actually have today, and what is your level of ability. So once you have a knowledge and you use that knowledge and develop skills and you practice, you will enhance your ability. Now once you have done that, you'll realize that what is required in terms of competencies and what you have today, there will be a gap. And we say that you need to do what is called as gap management. So how will you bridge the knowledge gap, the skill gap, and how will you enhance the ability to the desired level? Once you made a list of all this and defined that this is the present level of competency against what is desired, what is expected, and what you should have, then you start working on how to bridge it. So then you start working out your strategies, that how do I go about developing myself. Now that we have listed out the desired competencies which will get us to achieve our goals and thereby our purpose, we have also listed down the present levels and identified the gaps between the two and how we are going to bridge it, we need to now develop ourselves. Two ways we can do it. One is through self-development. So we read, we develop ourselves, we put our thoughts together, we visualize and we say this is how we are going to be and this is what I'm going to do. And second is we go on the outside, we take help. We get trained by a good trainer in certain aspects, certain skills or certain knowledge, and develop our ability. We could also go to a good mentor, somebody who has already been through this journey, and request for help and request them to share their experiences and show us how things are done. And the third, we can avail the services of a good coach who will ask us the right questions to bring out the best version of ourselves. So you can self-train, you can go to a trainer, you can find a good mentor, and you can get coached by a very good coach. So this will help us to develop ourselves. Now, having said this, why would these guys actually help you? Or why should they give the best possible efforts to get the best results out of you? You need to have the power of influencing. Now, when I say power of influencing, two things you need to do. You need to create a strong pull towards you. That is, these guys should really love talking to you. They should really enjoy helping you out. So to influence, you need to first create a pull. And how do you do that? By building good rapport with people whom you are seeking help. The second very important aspect is to be a good listener and listen to them very carefully. And third is ask pertinent questions or useful questions. Once you created a pull, now they're all set to really help you and assist you, train you, coach you, mentor you. And that's when you create a push. You ask them for what you want. You tell them what they should be doing for you. And that's how you influence people and get the best for yourself. Most importantly, in this whole process of influencing, don't forget to influence your own selves. Create the pull which is required to your own self. You are your own best friend. Love yourself. Love what you want to do. Enjoy your own company. Create that kind of pull required to really, really feel good about your own self. Create a pull towards that goal which you have, the purpose which you have understood through this entire reboot process which is going on. And once you have got that clear and you like what you have thought about, close your eyes and visualize the purpose and the goals which you have set for yourself. Once you created this pull, now create the push. Push yourself. Push yourself. Have the best possible energy levels and drive yourself to attain these goals. And this is what you can actually do. And this is how you develop and prepare yourself during this reboot process. And once you're convinced, now work out your action plan. Work out an action plan to the detail. Ensure that you have put the entire process in place, that how are you going to do this? Now that you have completed your action plan, your very own action plan, your reboot process is now complete. Now you're ready to hit the start button and ignite yourself on this new journey of life to attain the goals which will lead you to fulfill the purpose for which you have come into this world. But while going through this journey, don't forget to take massive actions. A lot of people will tell you to take small steps, small actions. Don't ever do that. Take massive actions, because these massive actions will give you the results which you seek. Nothing average in this world ever works. Excellence really is the way forward. So take massive actions. This was a blueprint of Personal Reboot. Hope you enjoyed. I wish you all the very best in your journey forward, in this journey of excellence to attain your purpose. Till we meet again in the next episode, this is Malcolm Stephens signing off.